I'm going to read a devotion. I really miss doing this for myself because it usually ends up, if I'm not reading it to you, I don't get around to reading it. So, August 17th. Everyone who is of the truth hears my voice. John 18:37. For many years, a professor started his first class by putting two figures on a blackboard, 4 and 2, with a number, with a line under it. What's the solution, he would ask. A student would say 6. Another student would say 2, but the teacher would ignore them. Finally, several would call out 8, and he would shake his head. The professor would then point out, all of you failed to ask the key question, what is the problem? Unless you know what the problem is, you cannot possibly find the answer. Without a plus sign, a minus sign, a multiplication or division sign, the numbers cannot be computed. Our life in recovery is exactly the same. We need to spend most of our time defining our problems and taking stock of our situation. That's why we make and take our inventories, so we can discover what's going on. Until we know what's happening and what we need to know, we are stymied. Stalled, that means stalled. Problems are usually more complicated than we realize. Life and recovery are complex. As H.I. Machen said, for every human problem, there is a solution that is simple, neat, and wrong. We never know all we need to know. Self-discovery is an adventure into an ongoing mystery. God is our problem and our solution, and there is nothing simple and neat with him, but he is always right. Keep me humble, Lord. Don't let me get too proud and cocky. May I keep on learning. Amen. So I had a lot of activities last weekend, which was really good. I had started going to Codependence Anonymous, which was really good because I needed to meet people here and stuff. And I've been wanting to go. It's a group that's out of the 12 steps out of AA, only it's for codependents. And the Crappy Childhood Fairy is always suggesting that you go to meetings, and that's what I used to go to a while ago. So it is it was good, and they had a picnic the following Saturday when I was supposed to be moving in my new apartment. So when that fell through, I went to the picnic. And then when it fell through, me moving in on the 14th, I went to Switchfoot too. So I had a lot of fun last weekend. And tonight, Ian and Albert and I went out to eat to celebrate getting the check finally. And Ian and I had lobster. And we toasted my mom and dad and grandma and grandpa. And incidentally, I want to say again, Ian is Ian Peter for my dad. My youngest is Lydia Ellen for my mom. So we toasted mom and dad. And yeah. So things are good. Oh, and I have this cross on. I think I said this before, that this cross, I was with my dad and we were at the fair. I think it was 2000 when we went in 2004, and I took Sarah and Teddy and Lydia. I took my two oldest and my youngest because the time before I went with three of my kids and I went with the three youngest, which was Ian and Claire and Lydia. And then when I went again, I went with my two oldest and the youngest. I couldn't ever, whenever I flew out, I was not by myself. I always had to take at least my youngest with me because my ex just, well, my parents usually would want to see, at least one or some of the grandkids. So I would always take at least one child. He never, my ex never really wanted me to have a break. I never got to go. And the first time I flew out to California to see my family alone was when my mom passed away. So yeah, that was the first time I went by myself. I shared the pictures where I went with Ian in 2015, and that was fun because we rented a Mustang convertible, and it was just fun driving up the coast, driving from LA to San Luis Obispo to my dad and his I don't even call her stepmom. So my stepmom, it was kind of stressed, my relationship with my dad. It was. But my stepmom sort of made it even more awkward because she didn't really like me. And it seemed like she couldn't hear me. Like I said, I might come for Thanksgiving, but I said it a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, and she just didn't believe me. And then when I called them from my brothers in LA that we were here, she said, "We didn't know you were coming until yesterday." And I was like, I said I was gonna. She's like, it was kind of it got to be kind of funny that she every time, even 2018, the last time my brother talked to her and said that me and him were supposed to go up there to take them out to eat as a late, it was 4th of July, but as a late Father's Day thing. And she didn't hear that it was me. And then when I showed up, and I showed up with Joyce too, and they thought that my brother and his wife were coming up there. They didn't know that. We didn't know you were coming. That's what she would always say. And I was like, I told you I was coming. But she's always like, we didn't know you were coming. We didn't know you were coming. And then what was really funny was when I sent a gift for his 80th birthday. And so this was really funny. And I sent them a gift card, and I looked up there was the restaurant that I sent him a gift card for was, I think, in Santa Maria or something. But at that point, I guess they wouldn't go that far, and whatever. And so I sent him a note for it was his 90th birthday. That's right, because it was 20. What year was it? I'm trying to think. He was born in 28. So, but it was for his 90th birthday. And I sent him a card, and I thanked him for all the places them taking us camping. They would take us to Yosemite every year. They took us, because I had a revelation when I was in San Diego and going on my first missions trip to Mexico. And I had a revelation when I was in San Diego, and I was like, hey, my parents, they took us down to Mexico once. I think it was just Ensenada or something, I don't know. But they took us down to Mexico, and they took us up to Canada once. And then I had a revelation. I was like, oh my goodness, my parents took me more places in 18 years than my husband took me in 30. Because all he would take us, he would only take me to, Florida, where his family was, or California, where my family was. And then, he didn't have to pay for a vacation because he's cheap. So I wrote my dad a note and thanked him. And I sent him this gift card to a restaurant because, what do you get, what do you get your dad when he's 90 years old? Yeah, so, and what was funny about that with my stepmother is she, and I had the same phone number for years and years and years. So she was like, we're trying to reach you. And she was talking to my sister-in-law, and she gave them the gift card. She gave them the gift card to the restaurant. And she's like, oh, and Joyce gave us a number for Alabama. Because I guess she sent her the number, and it said it was a mobile number. She thought it was mobile Alabama. So my stepmother was kind of entertaining. And I'm invisible to her. It's like my superpower. She can't hear or see me. I'm mute and invisible. So yeah, my stepmother made it even more awkward with my dad. But I did try, and he never really did like to talk on the phone. So, never ever talked on the phone with him for very long. And I did. It was, I'm not gonna lie, but also I had just as good, maybe even better really, relationship with him as my siblings did. Because he just was a difficult person to have a relationship with, honestly. But I really worked at it. I really did. I really, really did. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Anyways, I love you guys, and keep praying for Red, and Red will keep praying for you. Mwah.